Good afternoon, student. This is the sixth and last part of the chapter development for class 10 subject social science. Student, in this section we will discuss the last part and the most important part related to development, related to the notion of development, be it for an individual or for a country or a region or a state. That is sustainability of development. So first question arises, what is sustainability? Sustainability simply means that whatever we have acquired at present at any level or any level means a country level or at individual level should be maintained even for the future. That is called sustainability. Suppose any country which has achieved a certain level of development in present, it would like to go up further in the future, or if not going up or doing better and better in the future, at least it has to maintain that what has been achieved. That is called sustainability of the development, and its whole idea revolves for the future generation. What does future generation here means? To explain better, your textbook on this page has given a particular quotation. What I am reading for you, it is written, we have not inherited the word from our forefathers, we have borrowed it from our children. What does it mean, student, that we have borrowed it from our children? Children, those who will be coming in the future, those who do not exist, how we can borrow anything from them? It simply want to say that what we have borrowed it from our future generation means we have to ensure that whatever resources are available on this planet, we have to use the present resources in a manner that enough should be left for the future generation. As far as it is written that we have not inherited the word from our forefather, so as far as forefathers are concerned, they are gone. They are not alive in this world. They will never come back to use the resources of the planet. That is why we have to think in the sustainability of development all about future generation. What is important here, student, that over the last 2-3 decades, the manner the human being has made the development, the kind of mad race is taking place between the countries to prove their supremacy on each other, we have made over exploitation of resources, and that's why our scientist has warned us that actually we are not going to sustain the things in the future the way we are developing. To explain this, your book has chosen two examples. One is over exploitation of the water resources in India, and second is over exploitation of the crude oil, which is another natural resource exists in different parts of India. I shall be reading that part later, but here I want to add few things that you can find that because of these over exploitation of the resources, what we have done to our environment. We all know that these days we talk a lot about the global warming, we talk about ozone layer depletion, we talk about air pollution, water pollution, and we are talking about also that the way we are exploiting resources, it might not help us to sustain uh, anything or keep anything for the future. Best example is at present when we all are back home under the lockdown situation due to the coronavirus. Did you notice that newspapers are reporting that ever since the human being are kept inside their house, the environment is recovering? Air pollution level has gone down, water level, many river in Yamuna has been shown on the news channel that the quality of water has got better. Now the river is not looking as dirty as it was looking earlier. Many industries are shut, that is why they are not polluting the environment. We are not taking our vehicles, that's why emission of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide or other harmful gases is also not taking place. This itself is a proof that the kind of development we are making by exploiting resources in a non-judicious manner is an example that we will end the world without letting anything available for our future generation. I am reading the example. We are not extending many with many other examples. I'm taking you back to the example over here. Let me read this. Groundwater in India, example 1, where it is written that recent evidence suggests that the groundwater in is under serious threat of overuse in many parts of the country. Did you remember that in Palampur you read that the green revolution, where we use modern farming method? In modern farming method we use high yielding variety seed which required extra water. For that we take out the water using our tube wells from the earth resources, and that has caused this problem what I am reading right now for you. About 300 districts have reported a water level decline of over 4 meters during the past 20 years. This is a serious concern, student. Nearly one third of the country is overusing their groundwater reserves. In another 25 years, we are likely to have 60% of the country would be doing the same if the present way of using the resources continue. Groundwater overuse is particularly found in the agriculturally prosperous region. That's what I said. Wherever the green revolution has been introduced, where the farmers have used electricity to run the tube well and have taken taken the water resources from the ground without giving proper thought to it. The area which are mentioned here is Punjab and western part of UP. Also the plateau region, also like central and south India and coastal areas also have reported that there is a shortage of water resources. Water level is declining day by day. Itself is a good example. Now in your book there is another example giving you an idea that how the world is making a mad race, because it is believed that if ever there will be a war for the supremacy in the world, oil resources, if there will be another war between the world, there will be oil resources what will make the difference. So every big power, be it America or China, all are wanting to acquire not the oil resources what is what is existing in their own geographical area, rather they are wanting to acquire the area like Middle East. It is mentioned in table 1.7, that is 3 areas shown: Middle East, then United States of America and the remaining world. You will find that according to 2017 what is unit mentioned is 1000 million barrel. Barrel is the unit of measuring the oil resources, and it is mentioned 808 million barrel, 808,000 million barrel are existing in Middle East, while only 50,000 million barrel exist in United States, and 1697 is the overall data for the world. Number of years how when the reserve will last. For Middle East we can assume it is going to be 70 year, for United States of America 10.5 year, and for the world it is 50.2 year. It simply means, this is the reason United States is very keen to keep its control in the Middle East region. We call it oil diplomacy, that we shall be discussing in the higher classes what is oil diplomacy. But most of the power of the world are wanting to control the Middle East region because it has maximum oil resources available. But does it mean maximum, does it mean that it will never come to an end? You have studied in the chapter resources in your earlier classes that there are two kind of resource, renewable and non-renewable. So these resources are oil is something which is non-renewable. So if we will continuously to use like this, in the coming few years these resources will not sustain. So then our future generation will not have the luxury of depending on these resources. They will have to find some other means. Our nutshell message for the sustainability of development is that while making our development, we should consider that our development should be judicious. We should consider that we should not bring harm to our flora and fauna. Our ecological balance should not get disturbed, and there has to be a good environment. We should leave in as a legacy for our future generation, a good environment, plenty of water resources, plenty of natural resources, pollution less environment. These are the things that only then we can say that our development, what we have achieved, all the notion of development what we have studied in this chapter has to remain sustainable. Means what development we have achieved will remain even for future generation, and they will make the good use of that resources. You can I'm finishing my this last content by giving an example that suppose your father makes a good house, what he would like that during his lifetime that house do not sustain. He would like that the kind of house he is constructing, he is making, even after his existence, his children are going to be take the benefit of that. Similar situation exists in this section, that sustainability of development. We have to make sure that we are going to provide enough resources to our future generation. That's why in quotation it is written that we have borrowed it from our future children or future generation. Student, now this chapter has come to an end. I am not giving any answer for the exercise based question, because I know that very soon you will get opportunity to have interaction with your teacher, and once you get this opportunity, you discuss all the exercise activities and answers mentioned over here. In case any particular answer you find difficult, your teacher will pass this information to me, so I will be discussing with them and we will find the answer for you also. Thank you, students. Thanks a lot.